Welcome, y'all.
Hey, Sherry.
Hey, Tammy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just peachy keen.
I have to bring up that meet and greet again. That was fun.
That was so awesome.
That was fun.
And somebody there said, well, we know when Sherry's doing something, there's a good chance there's a two-parter.
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, today
is your day.
Two-parter. So if you're listening and you want to get the second part right away and you don't want to wait a week for it to come out, go become a Patreon member, Patreon/grits. And you will get, of course, when you get this episode, the first one, you will get the second one available at the same time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome. So, anything new?
No, I think everything's pretty good. I do want to shout out a business that's here local in our area.
Please do.
Okay, it's Back on the Rack of Denham Springs. Y'all, I love this place.
It sounds from the name like secondhand.
It is.
Like a Poshmark version, but right there in your face.
Right there in your face. High-end fashion.
Nice.
We are talking Louis Vuitton, Burberry,
Gucci,
Chanel. You can get some Coach, and I personally like Loft.
Yeah.
For workwear, it's one of my favorite brands. It washes up well, wears
They have
well.
Loft too.
They have Loft, Michael Kors, Marc Jacobs.
Nice.
And y'all, it's Back on the Rack in Denham Springs. Follow them on the socials because she will post key pieces.
Perfect.
Several of them every day so that you don't even have to go dig through the store.
Yeah.
You can look on there and say, oh my God, I have been looking for, right now they have a Burberry bag that is calling my name.
Oh.
Because you know me, I am a accessory girl.
Yes. You love the bags.
I do. I bought some from Tammy's Poshmark.
Mm-hmm. So, well, can you bring things there for them to buy?
Absolutely. It is a consignment shop.
Cool.
And she has layaway even.
Oh, nice.
Because some of these, like a Louis V,
I
even
know.
secondhand could cost you $1,200, $1,400, $1,800.
Yes.
So you could let away for a few weeks. And
that's awesome. Okay, where are they located?
Denham Springs at the corner of Hatchell and Cockrum, right next to the Carter's Grocery.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I know where Carter's is. Awesome.
On the north side of Denham.
Oh, not my
the
side.
no.
Okay. And they're open, I would assume, Tuesday through Saturday?
Tuesday through Saturday,
Okay.
10 to 6. So it's mostly for those of us who have some free time during the week.
Mm-hmm.
But she will, if you see something on the social and you're a customer, because I've done this, you can Facebook message her and say, hey, hold that for me. I will run in and swipe my card later. And she will.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about like larger size? I'm a big girl. So do they have like
I have seen
16, 18, 20, you think?
I've seen up to a 28.
Okay. Good. So
yeah, shoe sizes from a 5. I've seen up to an 11 in the shoes because I am the original Amazon, and so I need long, I need tall.
I wear a 10. So
yeah,
cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, shout out. I'll have to go check her out. Back on the Rack?
Back on the Rack, Denham Springs. Now, this is a chain, and they're in a lot of our like Gulf Coast tourism cities, but we opened up one in Denham, and I love it.
Cool. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Okay, where are we going today? What are we doing today?
Today, we are going to Skidmore, Missouri.
Skidmore, Missouri.
Yeah. Skidmore, Missouri was a very tiny farming town in 1981. And since then, it's half the size it was.
It's half?
Half.
Okay.
Back in 81, they had about 400 people. Now there's about 225.
Is 81 primarily where this takes place?
That's where the murder, ?
Okay.
Takes place.
All right.
Okay. It's a very white town. Like, out of the whole town in the most latest census, there are 18 people that aren't white, and 16 of those are half white. Okay, this is the...
Cracker heaven.
Yeah.
The honkies all live there.
Yeah.
I was watching a comedian the other day. He's like, call us honkies. We don't care. Call us crackers. We don't care.
Look, and I'm Irish. We actually have a university whose mascot is every Irish stereotype. We lean into that crap.
Right. Nice.
Oh, gosh. That was a horrible laugh.
No, that was great. That was great.
Okay. But weirdly, this town, as small as it was, wasn't that close-knit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody went to church, but it seems like they went to church and went back to their farm. Went to church and went right back to work. They didn't pull together.
Yeah.
Which is odd.
Usually in a town of 400, 500 people, everybody knows everybody's business.
Mm-hmm.
Not the case here.
No.
Okay.
And Skidmore is kind of the center of a larger farming community.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's only 400 people, it's the biggest thing around. I mean, there's a lot of town-esque things.
Right.
I mean, they have a post office address.
Yeah.
But they're not really anywhere.
Right.
All around it. And this town only had one cop.
Andy Griffith was his name? No.
Let me really let you grasp it. We're not talking about one cop on duty.
Just one cop.
Just one cop.
You had to call Bob at home if something happened after hours.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
And because it's only 400 people, whoever the one cop, because this story does take place over about 35 years.
So more than one person is
had
the
that
cop.
job.
Yeah.
I mean, and they do get backed up by the sheriff's department or the highway patrol, but typically the cop's job was some first aid, a little bit, hey, you're drunk, go home.
Also, my cat's in the tree.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that big of a job.
Right.
Only 400 people, and everybody's working too dead-gum hard to do anything.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to back up to 1934, June of 34.
Okay.
Kenneth Rex McElroy comes into this world. He was the 15th of 16 children.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. And his parents were migrant farmers.
Man, his mom was just pumping out babies.
I know. His parents were Tony and Mabel. And they had kind of like a hay hauling gig. Like a lot of times when we think of migrant farming, we think about
people just picking crops.
They were going from area to area during like haying season, and during this, they were moving the produce or moving what they needed to do.
Gotcha.
Okay. And they moved around between the Ozarks and Missouri and, deeper into Kansas on the other side, back and forth, finally settled just outside of Skidmore.
All right.
Okay. And, most of the time, Daddy is hugely to blame for whatever's going wrong with these kids. Whenever we talk about murderers.
Right.
They're abusive. They're absent. They're
alcoholics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but this dad didn't seem to be that horrible.
Especially for the 1930s, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's no stories of him beating on his kids. And I mean, normal dads beat on their kids in the 1930s.
Sure.
He was a little hot-tempered. He would yell at him and scream at him. But by the time you get down to 15th child.
No.
It took them 24 years to have these 16 children.
Yes.
So you've already had them grown and gone.
Right.
And I mean, mine, I had a 10-year span between all of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I got a whole lot softer by grace.
Oh, definitely by the baby. Yeah.
You're just tired of yelling.
My older kids tell me we didn't beat the youngest one at all, ever compared to them. So I get it.
Yeah.
You're tired. You're old and tired.
And so he didn't get onto them a whole lot. And Ken did have one other brother that was younger than him, who his dad liked a lot more than Ken. His dad kind of eyeballed Ken as having something wrong with him from the get-go.
Like a mental deficiency?
Yeah. Okay, so Ken did suffer a head injury. That would be the other thing we see.
Yes.
His dad wasn't horrible, but he wasn't great. He was just a dad.
Was his mom horrible?
No.
Okay.
No, his
So
parents
we just have a head injury right
just
now.
have a head injury and a hard life, but everybody's life was hard, especially in Missouri in the 30s.
16 kids.
Yeah. I think it was a 2-bedroom farmhouse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, okay, Kenneth's last name was McElroy. McElroy, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so he did suffer that head injury. He was sitting on the edge of the wagon, fell out, hit his head hard enough to need surgery.
A 1935 surgery?
Or 1940 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty rough. Some people say he got a metal plate in his head then. I don't think so.
Wow.
Because that would have needed repeated surgeries.
That just scares me.
As a growing child.
That scares me.
Yeah.
Surgery in that time.
Yeah.
On the brain.
On the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he quit school after finishing the 8th grade at 15.
Okay.
That's not unusual.
All right. Yeah, true.
Farming communities, I mean.
They needed the kids to work.
There was, unless you were going to end up with an office job, a high school diploma was not doing you any good. Or you wanted to go to college. A high school diploma was not doing you.
You can read, you can write.
Yeah.
Go start working on the farm.
You have enough to where you're not going to get screwed when you sell your crops.
Yeah.
And you can read the Bible.
Yeah. That's it.
That's all you need. Okay. The uncommon part was he quit because he punched the principal.
Oh.
And he figured he might as well just skedaddle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would...
That's frowned upon.
Yeah, that is frowned upon.
No matter what your mental capacity is.
Yeah. So that's kind of a little uncommon in the 1950s.
Yes, yeah.
Because it should be straight up 1950, maybe 51 at this point.
Back then, the principal was carrying a paddle around. I remember in the 70s, my principal carried a paddle around.
Oh.
So
Did I ever tell you about my elementary school principal?
No.
He got his leg shot off in World War II.
Oh my God. He was hardcore.
He was hardcore, and he had a wooden leg.
Good Lord.
And so when the teacher had to send somebody to the office to say, hey, I've got an unruly student, you could hear the thump creak coming down the hallway of that principal coming swinging that paddle with the holes drilled in it.
Yes, that's exactly what my principal had.
Oh, you knew your butt you weren't going to sit for a week.
Thump creak. Thump creak. I like it.
Okay, now, off of that little 1970s antique tangent.
Yes.
Okay, so getting work on the farm, like you said, was a much higher priority than doing this. But Ken wasn't really working on the farm. It seems like Dad pretty much backed entirely off of him. Didn't expect anything out of him. Ken ended up leaving school what was referred to as functionally illiterate.
Okay.
Like there's a little reading, but not much. And since his family wasn't religious, they didn't even prioritize reading the Bible.
Right.
So he was uneducated completely.
Yeah.
Did the head injury play into that? Don't know.
Maybe.
But him being a hardcore bastard probably paid into a lot of it. I mean, I ain't going to do nothing that I don't want to do kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Which we see early on. Like at 13, he was already stealing stuff.
Oh.
Okay. If as soon as he got freed from school all day, he set about stealing.
Wow.
As a full-time job.
And Mom and Daddy are too tired to try
to do anything.
Yeah.
And they're probably still working.
Yeah, they probably are.
And at this point, they're in their mid-50s. They brought out 16 kids into the world. They tired.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was rustling livestock, stealing gas and car parts because he had a Ford pickup truck that was older, like almost as old as he was.
So he would get the parts and fix her up.
Yep. Steal them off of people's functioning vehicles.
Yeah.
Just a total douche. And he was womanizing pretty much everywhere he went.
At a young age.
At a very young age. Yeah. And
did you get anything from your research that made you believe he was a charmer or good looking or anything like that?
Yes. So Ken had stupidly dark eyes.
Okay.
Like almost black. And the way they rested in his, like whenever he'd look at you, it was like he was looking higher up than you. And you could see the white underneath the dark a good bit, but you couldn't see any white on the top. So he would look at you. And girls used to call those eyes hypnotizing when he was young.
Oh, puppy dog eyes.
Yeah. When he got older, they called them scary.
Oh, gosh.
And he had naturally brown hair, but he dyed it black so that he'd look like Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Sideburns, the big pompadour, the whole bit.
Okay.
So it was the kind of guy that girls would get in trouble with.
Yeah.
Okay. And since on the farm, 2 things are not in short supply, and that's food and exercise.
Right.
So Ken was big.
And probably built.
And built. And I mean, it wasn't so much that he was so tall, but one of the cops that he arrested later on said that boy's arms were bigger around than my thighs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big dude.
Mm-hmm. So big dude, different looking.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily call him good looking, but different looking is often enough.
Well, if they're in a rural community, there's not going to be a lot of choices to start off with. And if you get the boy who looks like a city boy instead of a country boy, he's going to be fascinating to the girls.
And you got to imagine most of them were their cousins. Well, this family
right.
moved there.
Right. He was fresh meat.
Yeah. Okay. But calling him a womanizer may be the wrong term.
What was he?
He liked girls.
Oh.
Yeah. Ugh. Even in his late teens, like 17, 18, 19, he would tell the girls that were his own age, you don't have to worry about me. I like them young and tender.
Oh, my God.
Uh-huh. Oh, it was horrible. There were all these rumors going around town about... And you'll kind of have to forgive the way the statements would put out, because at the time we had less of an understanding of molestation and rape.
Right.
And so they would talk about him dating 12-year-olds.
That makes sense, though, for the time period.
For the time period. He wasn't dating them. He was raping them.
Yes.
And there was one big rumor whenever he was in his 20s that he had raped a 13-year-old girl, got her pregnant with twins.
Oh, my God.
And she died in childbirth.
Oh, my God.
And then he come along the next time he was in town and raped her sister.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about very young girls, 11, 12, 13. And he stayed in that place.
No matter what age he was, that's the age he wanted.
Makes me wonder if something weird didn't happen.
To him, yeah. Maybe.
Okay, so he got better and better at stealing through the years. And he did move away once.
Okay.
Got a real job. But then he got hurt on the job. Something was being lifted by a crane, and it broke loose and hit him on the top of his head, broke his hard hat, messed up his neck.
Messed a plate up in his head.
Probably. And he decided that was the end of working for him.
After that, he's just stealing.
He's just stealing. Okay, so he moves back to the Skidmore area. And one of the first things he did was fixed up his pickup truck so that he could steal better.
Okay.
Okay, this is a farming area. Cattle, pigs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what he's stealing more than anything, is livestock.
It's still, you can't just hide that, I guess. Okay, go ahead.
So he reinforced the sides of the bed of the pickup truck.
All right.
Set up a toggle switch to kill his running lights.
Wow. He was really getting high class with his thieving.
Yeah, so he could sneak onto farms, load up several animals at once. And he eventually had multiple trucks that he would run stealing stuff. He was kind of developing a crew in here.
A gang.
Yeah. He had a handful of friends that were his little yes men. and they just do whatever he wanted.
The Skidmore gang. The Skidmore Crips.
Yeah. And so this guy, Reed Miller, was elected sheriff of Andrew County, which is the county just south of the county that Skidmore's in 1969.
All right.
So at this point, yeah. So he was born in 1935, 1969. He's 34 years old.
Yeah.
He is pretty much making a good career at this.
Right.
And so when he first took office, the other lawmen in the area warned him about McElroy. Said he's going to come down to your county some, and you will have problems with him. And Miller ended up having a few run-ins with him. And every time he saw him, McElroy was cocky. He would threaten him. He would go just shy of getting an arrest.
Mm.
And then there was even a point where he was running his little crew in multiple vehicles, and everybody had orders to shoot any cop.
Oh my God.
That stopped them. And we're talking out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So if you had a problem as a law enforcement officer, your backup might be 35 miles away.
Yeah. If you even had backup. Wow.
Okay. So,
for not being very smart, he sounds pretty smart when it comes to crimes.
Yeah. He's smart about getting his way. So he had zero fear of the law. He pretty much did whatever he wanted. In a 3-month period, Reed Miller, that sheriff, estimates that Ken stole $100K of livestock in his own county. You know, in the county that Reed's over. That's not even where Ken's living. Next county down. And he kept trying to catch him. But if you couldn't actually catch him in the act.
You could. So was he selling?
Yes.
The cat? Like, how was he making money?
He was selling off this livestock after he stole it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So there was no law for branding or tagging in Missouri.
Okay. So there was no way to say that's my cow.
Right.
And here's the brand. Yeah.
So, I mean, even if you saw him with a truck full of pigs that he didn't have yesterday.
Can't prove that they're not his pigs.
Yeah. And, a farm might have 300 of them.
Yeah.
It's reasonable that the owner of those pigs wouldn't really be able to eyeball his pigs and say, that's mine.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Pretty good gig old Kenny's got going for himself.
Oh, yeah. So in the middle of all this stealing, we have all of the girls coming into his life.
That's just the stealing is his side hustle.
When he was 20, he married 15-year-old Sharon.
Oh my gosh.
Now there was another wife mentioned whenever he moved away for a while and came back. But then we never hear about her again. So I'm not sure what happened to her.
They're not keeping good records of.
Yeah, and he's a lying sack of turds. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so 15-year-old Sharon, he beat her, he cheated on her, and they had 2 children until he traded her in for a new model. He starts dating 13-year-old Sally.
Wow.
And moves her onto the farm with Sharon living there.
Oh my God.
Okay, So
Sharon has another kid to take care of.
Another 5 kids are born between the 2 women. Sally had 3, and Sharon had another 2. So
sister wives.
Yeah, they're kind of living as this weird criminal sister wives.
Yeah.
And so he got tired of all the women and all 7 kids and moved in another underage girl. Alice Wood. She was like 14.
Okay.
And they often refer to her as his second wife, but I'm not ever sure if that one was legal.
Actually yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what? Do you think a piece of paper is going to stop him or mean anything to him?
Right.
So, Alice has a baby, and then she runs away from home because of the abuse.
So he's abusing them.
Oh, he's beating the crap out of anybody and everybody.
So it's not just sexual, it's physical abuse.
It's physical abuse, and it's not just the women, it's anybody that gets in his way.
Wow.
You don't do what he says, he's going
to bust you. Yeah, bust you up.
Okay. So she ran to her mom and stepdaddy's house. And McElroy calls and says, I'm going to get my son and I'll kill anybody that gets between me and him. Okay? A lot of times that's just talk.
A lot of times it is. But I don't feel like it is with this asshole.
No, not with Ken. He was serious and he shot Alice's stepfather in the leg.
Oh my God. This is fucked up.
Yep. He's arrested on assault charges and bonds out. And he spends the time while he's out on bond intimidating the family. And, he shows up at the house. He's watching them. He's following them around town. He's sitting out on the road across from their house all night, every night.
And I'm assuming he doesn't have his son. That's why he's doing this? Or does he have his son and he's still doing this?
Well, I don't know exactly when at all, but he's doing that so that they don't testify against him.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. And then eventually he pulled a gun on the stepdad again. And the stepdad was like, been there, done that. I'm done. He drops the charges. Alice did end up back with Ken, but I'm not sure if it was before or after the stepdad dropped the charges.
Gotcha.
It may have happened before stepdad dropped the charges. And that might have been, well, if she's stupid enough to go back with him, then I'm not going to worry about kind of thing. Okay, so she ends up back with Ken, but he didn't really want her. He started, quote unquote, dating a 12-year-old named Trina McLeod. And he's like 35, 36 years old.
And this is the 70s?
At this point, it's the 70s.
God, you would think, I mean, even the 70s being as shitty as the 70s were, that a 12-year-old and a 30-something-year-old, that might raise some red flags.
It shoulda.
Yeah.
Okay.
12.
Yeah, 12. So he moves her onto the farm with Alice. Now, the other bunch of the family has moved off. The 7 kids and the first 2 women.
They're like, we're done with this shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't want them anymore anyway.
No, because they done got too old for him.
At least he's not molesting his own children. At least you're not telling me that he's molesting.
And I don't think he did.
Okay. Well,
it may have happened.
Thank God for something.
Yeah.
Small favors.
Okay. So he moves her on to the farm with Alice, and but he's, and then he gets Trina pregnant eventually, and she has a baby at 14. And after Trina has the baby, she and Alice and the kids run away to the McLeod farm, so Trina's family.
Okay.
Now, I wonder about this because both of these women ran off right after their first baby. And I think it's that kind of protective thing. You may not care about yourself, but you care about that baby.
Shit changes when you have a kid. Yeah.
So he goes to the McLeod farm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Shooting people in the legs and...
Oh, it gets worse. So he beats the crap out of Alice and Trina.
Wow.
Okay. The total crap out of them. Burns down the McLeod's house.
My gosh.
Gets the women and the kids back to his farm. Trina has to go to the hospital for this beating.
Dang.
Yeah.
He gives 0 fucks.
He gives 0.
And he thinks he's untouchable. Because he's been thieving so long.
He's been thieving so long. And so Trina goes to the hospital for this beating. And the doctor is absolutely appalled. Because he's got this 14-year-old girl, newborn baby. She's tore up. And
he's 30-something.
He's 30-something. So he sends Trina to foster care. Well,
I can't wait to see what Kenneth does about that.
Yeah, that don't stop, Ken.
No,
not at all.
He's just, I'm going to get my way no matter what.
Yeah. So he calls up the foster family and says, I know where your daughter goes to school, and offers to trade daughter for daughter.
Oh my God. Did he kidnap?
He told him, you don't give me my wife and my baby,
I'm going to kidnap your daughter.
I'm going to kidnap your daughter. So, oh my God, could you even imagine?
Mm-mm.
So Trina goes back to him, and he kills the foster family's dog.
Wow.
And I think he burned down their house too.
Wow.
Nothing's happening.
And in the meantime, he's making money still stealing livestock.
Yes. And a lot of money. I mean, if he stole $100,000 worth of livestock in 3 months in the county that he doesn't even live in.
Yeah. I mean, even if he was only getting half.
You got to imagine he's making $300,000, $400,000 a year in the 70s.
Yeah.
When a typical suburban home run like $28,000, $30,000.
Right. He's like a drug kingpin at this point.
Oh, yeah. And he's running truck after truck. He's doing whatever he wants. He's got plenty of money, which brings him more girls. Because although we're only going to talk about a few of his wives, there's a lot of women in and out of that house.
Wow.
A lot of kids in and out of that house. There's only 10 children that are in any way legitimized by him. I say only 10.
Well, it seems like with all the women he's going to be with and has been with, they're just from what you told me, it sounds like he's got 10 already.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's kind of where my count is. And I'm like, but we know there were more later. So how?
Yeah.
And no, it's awful. Cops aren't able to do crap.
Anything.
Because Ken's got a good lawyer.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. He got a mob lawyer.
Wow.
From Kansas City.
So it's
which seems so freaking weird.
Got him a good lawyer from Kansas City.
Okay. So he was charged because of all of this with statutory rape, arson, brandishing a weapon, and rape.
But that means they were of age.
Well, forcible rape.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Because Trina said he did that to her.
Okay.
Okay. And she goes back to him. Recants her story. All's done. She had even passed lie detector tests.
Wow.
Yeah. And, every time, I actually think, and I'm kind of trying to be nice to the police officers in this as much as I can. I mean, I don't bleed blue, but I understand it's a hard job. It's a necessary job.
Yes.
But dang, they dropped the ball.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more on him than
even if they couldn't catch him for the livestock. All these underage girls.
Yeah. And he's mean as shit. He's getting into fights. He's shooting stuff up.
Burning shit down.
And the witness intimidation. Seems like state should have come in on that.
Yeah. But none of that happens. Wow.
So here he is, still free and clear at this point. And it's just mind-numbing. They did a movie on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did a movie about 10 years after it happened.
Based on a true story?
Based on a true story. They did change the names of the characters, but I did find it on YouTube because that's the only place it's streaming right now.
Oh, all right. What's it called? Do you know?
In Broad Daylight.
In Broad Daylight.
And Brian Dennehy plays him.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a pretty good movie.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a little weird to watch it because we are so much better at filming now.
What was it, the 80s or 90s?
It was 91. And I'm sitting there squinting at the screen and I'm like, what is he doing? Because, now we got HDMI, HD, 4K, 1080p. I mean,
you watch football, you can see a blade of grass on the field.
How did we watch football on a 32-inch TV?
I don't know. Because sometimes they'll show some way throwback video from, 80s, 90s, even before that. And it's the footballs, you're just like, I can't look at that. It hurts my eyes.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that we may
Are we going to pause this
I think
two-parter
we might
here?
pause this two-parter. I know this is a little short for the first part of a two-parter, but otherwise it would just be way too long for one sitting.
Okay.
And we'll do some of our little stories and whatnot.
Do you want to hear some funny laws?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Make me laugh, Tammy. It's been a rough week.
All right. So I left off on Ohio the last time. I didn't do all of theirs because there were so many. Okay. This is kind of strange. It's legal to throw a snake at someone, but it is illegal to shake a snake at someone.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, I tell you what it would be.
What?
I would be getting arrested because after you threw that snake on me, I am stomping a mud hole in you.
Okay. In Ohio, items left on a tree lawn become city property. I guess they mean like a tree in the park or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay. Marion, Ohio.
Okay.
You cannot eat a donut and walk backwards on a city street.
Oh, crap.
I mean, even if that is old as fuck, what happened that we really... Did someone trip over something and then it caused a huge calamity? A piano fell from the window. And
like a Sylvester and Tweety cartoon.
Yes, exactly. Okay. McDonald, Ohio. Okay. Your goose may not parade down Main Street. Keep your goose at home.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Ohio, no one may be arrested on Sunday or the 4th of July.
Okay,
So
I like that.
do your worst.
I like that.
Do your worst.
Independence Day, you should not be wearing bracelets and going...
But what if you... Oh, no. Okay, we won't go there. This is funny. Funny stuff. Not... Okay. In Ohio, it's illegal to run out of gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. David would have been up a creek when we were younger.
I mean, I don't know.
I have never run out of gas.
I think I have once, but that was way back when I was scraping up pennies out of the couch to pay for gas. But other than that, no.
Yeah, no. And I've locked my keys out of my car one time. And I was at the doctor and I was getting some bad news. And so I was kind of flustered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up having
your keys in the car.
Major surgery after that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and I locked my keys out of the car, but I had a Haida key. So I wasn't really locked out.
Awesome.
I just had to get down on the pavement and shimmy under the car on my crutches. Oh.
Okay. That was all for Ohio.
Okay.
So Oklahoma.
Oh, this could be fun.
A city ordinance in Oklahoma states that it shall be unlawful to put any hypnotized person in a display window. They're not mannequins. They're live people.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Okay. I hope there was a reason for that law. I'm hoping somebody didn't just pull it out of thin air.
I'm sure there had to be.
And some department store was actually hypnotizing customers
and putting them in the window. Yeah. Okay, if you wear New York Jets clothing, you may be put in jail. They're serious about their fucking football.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, we'd love to do that with anybody that wears Alabama down here.
That's right. You're right. Yeah. Okay. It's illegal for children to use towels as capes and jump from houses pretending to be Superman.
Okay, stupid. Should not necessarily be illegal.
Okay. In Oklahoma, I think we've had this in another state. People who make ugly faces at dogs may be fined and or jailed. I think another state had that.
Okay.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, it's against the law to open a soda bottle without the supervision of a licensed engineer.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't try to crack that 20-ounce Coke bottle without an engineer present.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay. This seems self-explanatory, or I should say a no-brainer. It's against the law to read comic books while operating a motor vehicle.
Okay.
How about we don't read anything while we're operating?
Yeah.
A newspaper, a novel.
Your cell phone, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's illegal to wear your boots to bed. Why would anyone want to do that?
Should be. Don't mess up my sheets. Don't put that gravel in my bed.
Tattoos are banned in Oklahoma.
Well, you'd be SOL.
Did they see Tiger King? Wasn't Joe Exotic?
I think he was in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, full of tattoos.
Full of tattoos.
Okay.
And half his people were full of tattoos.
Mm-hmm. So apparently that's not enforced anymore. So I have 2 more for Oklahoma and then we're done.
Okay.
Tissues are not to be found in the back of one's car. That's stupid. And Oklahoma will not tolerate anyone taking a bite out of another person's hamburger. Don't do it.
Yeah, that'll get your butt whooped. That'll get your butt
I mean,
whooped
if I offer you a bite, is it okay? Are they just trying to stop people from randomly
stealing bites of hamburgers?
Yes. You look over your shoulder and then next thing you know, half your burger's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I can't leave my food around Poppy.
Hi, Poppy. You heard that, huh? Well, I'm excited to hear part 2 of this story. Mm-hmm. And if y'all want to hear it immediately, go to Patreon/grits. That's Patreon/grits. And you can support the show and hear part 2 immediately. Otherwise, it will be out next week.
And y'all come on over to our socials. Come visit us. I'm going to start posting links for anybody we shout out in the Friends, Family, Fans.
Perfect.
Page.
That's great.
So that, our really close people can find the people that love us.
Yeah, because we have a lot of people in this area. Gonzales, Livingston. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have a lot of people in this area that could frequent these businesses that we talk about on here. So,
and I try to make sure everybody can ship or that it's a internet thing so that you can, and you can ship, you can order from the one I shout at Back on the Rack.
Back on the Rack, you can.
Denham Springs, yes.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, anything else before we stop at the episode?
I think that's all.
All right. We love y'all. We're going to let Zydeco Mike take us out.